All right, let's get right into it. We're going to explore what makes financial trading one of the most psychologically intense things a person can do. It's a journey that almost always starts with looking for some kind of treasure in the market, but it ends with discovering that the real map and all the real obstacles were inside your own head the whole time. And this quote right here, it really sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about. It's telling us that the secret sauce, the key to success, isn't some magic indicator hidden on a chart. No, it's about discipline. It's about a kind of self-mastery that we have to build from the inside out. When you're a new trader, the market just looks like this endless river of opportunity. It feels like technical analysis can turn all that chaos into predictable patterns. A world where, hey, just a few clicks on a screen could lead to some serious wealth. So you probably start with something simple, maybe like this swing breakout system. You see a clear pattern, right? The market pulls back, it breaks above a high, you buy. It pulls back, breaks below a low, you sell. It just seems so logical, almost mechanical. Or maybe you get drawn in by the sheer elegance of Fibonacci ratios. I mean, you see these numbers and proportions all over in nature, so you think, hey, why not in the markets? You start to believe these ratios hold some kind of secret key to predicting exactly where a price is going to go next. And then you get a little more sophisticated. You discover indicators like VWAP. And this one promises to show you the true average price, the level where the big institutional players, the big fish, are active. Now it feels like you're finally getting an insider's view. So with all these tools in your pocket, it really feels like you've been handed a map to the market's brain. All that random noise suddenly looks like a predictable, endless stream of cash. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? And then you place your first real trades. And this is where you run smack into the brutal, humbling gap between your perfect-looking analysis and what the market actually does when your own money is on the line. All of a sudden, those clean, beautiful patterns on your chart they dissolve into this chaotic, unpredictable mess. The setups that looked absolutely perfect on paper suddenly become terrifyingly uncertain the second you have a real stake in the outcome. And this is the moment you meet your real opponent for the very first time. And guess what? It's not the market. It's this minefield of powerful emotions that just blows up your best plans. It's the fear that makes you hesitate, the greed that makes you jump the gun, and the hope that makes you rationalize a trade that's clearly going against you. And if you think that sounds like an exaggeration, just read this. This is a raw, visceral account of a trader's frustration. It shows just how intense that internal battle can get. The pressure can be so extreme that it leads to a literal physical breakdown. It's wild. So you're convinced your first system was the problem. It was flawed, and that kicks off the next phase of the journey, the grand quest for the Holy Grail, a perfect, unbeatable trading system that just can't lose. Now, this quest might start you off with Japanese candlesticks. You're trying to learn how to read the market's story, its mood, in the shape of every single little bar. And then maybe you graduate to something like the Wyckoff method. Now you're trying to track the so-called smart money, trying to figure out where the big institutions are quietly buying or selling. Or maybe you go to the most granular level of all, order flow. You think, forget the charts, the real truth has to be in the raw data of the trades themselves. Each new method feels more sophisticated, more real than the last. But here's the real kicker. Even with the most advanced, complex, sophisticated tools you can find, that consistency you're looking for is still just out of reach, and this forces you to face the most important and, frankly, the most uncomfortable question of your entire journey. I mean, after all that searching, you're left with this one burning question. If the edge isn't in a better chart or a more complicated system, then where in the world is it? What is the edge? And this quote right here, this is the great revelation. The problem was never the market. It was never the system. It's the untrained mind, that thinker inside you that's been running the show, reacting to every little thing based on fear and hope and ego. The instrument has taken over. So the real edge, the true holy grail,
is realizing that you are not your fear. You are not your greed. You are not even your analysis. You are the silent awareness, the consciousness that is simply observing it all. And that little bit of separation, that's what lets you act on your plan instead of your feelings.
So, what does this path to consistency actually look like? Well, it has way less to do with analyzing markets and everything to do with forging this new, disciplined state of mind.
And this is the blueprint. It's basically these 4 pillars. It's not about predicting the future. It's about 1, truly accepting that any trade can lose. 2, having a crystal clear plan. 3, executing that plan like a robot, without emotion. And 4, reviewing your actions, not just your profits or losses, to get better. It's a feedback loop for your mind.
And I love this quote from Al Brooks because it's such a critical, practical piece of advice. To execute flawlessly, you have to neutralize the emotion. How? Often it just means trading small enough that a loss doesn't freak you out. You have to get yourself into what he calls I don't care mode so you can stay objective. So in the end, that's what trading really is. It's the ultimate mirror. It doesn't reflect what you know about charts. It reflects your own psychology back at you, relentlessly. It's going to show you your fear, your impatience, your lack of discipline, leaving you with one final, powerful question. Who will you decide to become?